Come talk to me.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the return of Shootin' the Breeze. My name is Mike Larkin, and by my side, once more, is my homegirl, professional wrestling fan, and the awesomeness of awesome, Miss Roxy Main. How are you, Roxy?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. A lot has been going on in the professional wrestling world, folks. We're going to be talking about some takes that Roxy brought up to me, as well as I'll be giving you some my takes on a lot of stuff, also based off what Roxy said. There's a lot of Roxy takes, there's a lot of Mike takes, but there's a lot of takes on the great world and entertaining world that is professional wrestling, and we'll start it off with this because I know you are a fan of both of these, so we're going to start it hot, red hot, if you will. It's fire! Logan Paul, LA Knight. It's going down at SummerSlam for the United States Championship. Your brother had the balls to call out and face Mike Tyson, but you don't have the balls to face me. Logan Paul called him Sean. He addressed him by his shoot real name.
Yes,
These two were on fire on SmackDown.
Yeah, it was good. Both of them. Like Logan, I thought that was a really great one by Logan Paul, to be honest with you. Like, really good by him. Like, usually his stuff sounds like immature kind of, but that didn't sound like that immature. Like, it was like actually a wrestling. Like, his stuff's good though, but it's like kind of like, you know it's Logan Paul, but his stuff's like actually really good. Someone's been working with him.
That's the thing too. I think he's just such a natural heel, and LA Knight is just such a natural baby face. I'm a kick your ass type of vibe, and also the fact that he was laying out in his pool and he could.
Yeah. Oh, dude, don't get me started. I love that. I wish it was longer, and I wish there was more to it because I loved. They're like, yeah, you're from LA's here, and he's like, what? It was hilarious. He's like in the pool, just like.
What's the rule about going in the pool?
Yeah, right.
It was
like,
so
was it a good toilet or something like that? Someone asked him. He's like, I can't tell you, but it did make a good toilet. Someone asked him if he peed in the pool, and
he's like, I can't tell you, but hey, it's a comfortable, it's a nice pool. Like,
nice toilet.
I love that dynamic because we've been clamoring this for like a while, and now it looks like hopefully we're finally getting a big singles title run for LA Knight with that United States Championship. And I'll say this right now. I think Logan Paul as a heel is great. I mean, people say what they will about him, but he is taken to professional wrestling like a hand in glove. And I think with this one, I mean, I know it's his hometown, but I think we got to get a title change here. We got to.
So we have to, right? Or it'd be stupid. But it's like, will they? Because, it is Logan Paul. You know what I mean? Like, just because, like, he has so much, like, influence, and it is his hometown, and he is bringing, like, you want to see a bunch of big stuff, and most of them are probably from his idea because he already shot a bunch of ideas, like, months ago about, he's like, oh, SummerSlam's coming to my hometown. Like, that was a while ago, but, like, if we see him come to pass, then you know what I mean, that they're his ideas, and he has some pool and stuff, so, like, it makes you wonder. I want to see a title change. Like, I want to see it because I think that Logan Paul would be good even without the U.S. Championship. Like, LA Knight, like, he would be, like, he could take it and, like, do something great with it. Like, honestly, like, you know what I'm saying?
Here's my thing with that, and I like your take. So let's look at it like this. LA Knight going for the world championship in the future, yes. Him at the U.S. championship right now, hell yeah. Logan Paul, I could definitely see, much like we saw him against Cody, much like we saw him against Roman. Well, he's world title, just another one. He's another contender and matchup for the world title. The thing with Logan Paul is, too, and we talk about people say what they will, and I know he's not going to be going to Japan because of reasons that we all know. We all know. But here's my thing with that.
It breaks my heart.
It does. It is. He was so dumb. Agreed. Wholeheartedly.
Because everyone changes, and and I feel bad. I personally, I know people don't think much of him because of the Crypto Zoo stuff and all that thing, but I feel like I heard that he's doing stuff about that, like, silently, like, trying to make that right. But, like, everyone grows, and he's like almost 30. He's like in his, like, late 20s. So, and he did that, like, Japan shit, like, what, early 20s, like, not even 20 maybe. I don't know how old he was, but I know he's a little older than me.
Yeah, he was in his, like, early 20s when he did that. And I can say this right now. Logan Paul's about 2 years younger than I am. I'm 32. He's, like, going to be 30.
Okay, so, I'm going to say, I knew he was about that. Yeah, okay, I wasn't sure. I know Jake's, like, what, 27, 26?
27, I think.
Okay, I knew he was, like, around, because I'm 26, so it's around that. I knew we were around the same, not the same, but around the same.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, I think a lot of people don't realize it's like, well, for instance, like with people's values and their thought and their ideologies. Like, I can tell you straight up and down, like 6 o'clock. I graduated high school in 2010, Roxy. I was 18. I don't think like I was when I was 18 anymore. Like, people have to understand that there's growth and people do grow. And I mean, some things will hold us against it. Like for instance, Hulk Hogan, we saw at the Republican National Convention because of him, his past, and he's going to drop the leg on Gawker and the Chumpamaniacs running wild. It's an interesting time in the world today when Hulk Hogan's ripping his shirt off with the Chumpamaniacs. And I'm not trying to go political, but I never would thought I'd see the day that a wrestling promo would be cut at a Republican National Convention.
What do you expect? Donald Trump was in, one of my favorite matches. My favorite matches at WrestleMania ever was Bobby Lashley, and you have, Donald Trump versus Umaga. I think I mentioned that before, Umaga and Vince McMahon. It's one of my favorite matches ever. At WrestleMania 23, it's like one of my favorite, you know what I mean? And people are like, now he's something different. But back then, oh, yeah, that's cool. But like now, he's always been so deep into wrestling and, so like it's kind of funny that like, and then to be honest with you, if you ever look at a lot of wrestlers have a lot of them are like Republican. If you ever notice, it's weird. It's not weird, but I've just realized that. But I don't like to talk about that stuff too much. But if you take the little test, I'm technically that too. But I was grown up Democrat. You know what I'm saying? But I technically fall behind the other. You know what I mean? So like, but it's a weird time. So you can't be anything because nothing's right and nothing's completely wrong and nothing's completely right. So. But it's a real weird world. Weird world, you know what I'm saying? Like seeing that. But then what if you see The Rock running for president? That might happen, but if no one like hates him by then, because people are turning not even just the Cody thing, like people are turning about other stuff too. So it's like if people don't hate Dwayne and The Rock, we'll be all right.
Right. And I'm right with you. I mean, first of all, and what I love about it too is, and I'll say this, and I thought when Donald Trump was doing that, Bobby Lashley, Umaga, I mean, he's been friends with Vince McMahon for years. So does it shock me that Hogan? No, because they've known each other since the 80s.
Oh, hell yeah. Donald Trump probably been hanging out with him for years, if you think about it, like off and on for different events. And so, but I think that also like they're trying, he's trying to pull out the stops too. He's trying to get back in the presidency. But no offense, but using Hulk Hogan, like, I love Hulk, but I'm also, what I mean? I also have nothing to lose of what he's done. You get what I'm saying? So I still love him, but like he's done shit. And I know he's apologized, but some people still hold it against him. And some people say, like, I don't know if you've seen that new thing about him. Did you see it or no?
Well, okay. So I'm aware about the stuff that he said back in the day about black people.
Mm-hmm. There's something new. There's this girl. So, okay, long story short, that. So he has like this beer or something that he was.
The real American beer, yeah.
Yes. Okay, the American beer. I was gonna say that, but I didn't know it was the right beer. Okay, so he had this girl. He was gonna have her come. Then he met her. She was a African American girl, and then after he met her, they like texted her, was like, "Hey, we don't need you. We're going a different direction." And then the girls that were in the places of them were Caucasian women. So that's a little controversy because he met her and then they were like filming for a day. And then the next time they're like, okay, we won't need you again for another. I guess they're supposed to do like multiple, you know what I mean? Like things at different places. I don't know how those things work. You know what I'm talking about though? Like,
yeah. And the thing is too, yeah. So she was
marketing shit. Yeah. So she basically, yeah.
No, you're right. I mean, I heard about it now that you brought it up. Yeah. So she accused him of, firing him because she's African American. Yeah. Whole controversy. And also,
it just looks bad. I'm not saying it is or not, but it's like he should have thought.
Yeah.
Maybe he could have had her and the other two. Have three of them. No one understands. Everyone loves all types of women. Have every type of woman around. Every type. Have a big woman from every race. Have a small woman from every race. Have all types of women. Everyone loves all women. Just make everyone happy. Like, just put the women in. Everyone loves women. Just put them in. As long as they have a cute face. Make a cute face. All right.
I like your style.
Nice smile. Put them out there.
No, Roxy, I love your style, man. I gotta add to that for a second here. No, I mean, a lot of the stuff that he had from back in the day. I know people always go back to Nick Hogan and John Graziano when John Graziano the car wreck and he was in a vegetative state. God rest
And
his
that's
soul.
not Hulk's fault. That's his kid. I'm not trying to be mean.
No.
Then you look at Brooke, and her stuff went south because she was trying to take off the music industry at the same time that Nick and the whole, you know what I mean? And she could have went far, but I think because she's Brooke Hogan,
Yep.
she didn't. And that sucks because she's super pretty and she had a great, you know what I mean? Like she could have had, you know, obviously you know how the music industry is. You don't get good shit until you're getting, and you're lucky to get something good come your way. If it, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be, but you know what I mean? You see it all the time. So she could have been something, but she didn't have the right push behind her. And I think it's because of what her brother was doing. And then at the time her dad was doing that shit with, I'm not trying to be like, but you know what I mean? Like his divorce with his wife and being with a younger woman. And like that looked all bad. And then where was Brooke at? Just in the back. Her music couldn't overshadow that. She wasn't well known, you know what I mean? So yeah, super sad for her. But that's like, yeah.
All right, I'm going to add to your point here because this one's bringing up Brooke Hogan, and you know I'm going to go here with this, Miss Roxy Main, because it's one of our jams. So,
I love it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I see your lips moving and I don't hear nothing. Everybody talking like they want to know about us. Like that song was so good. Her and Paul Wall. Oh my God! Like
Paul Wall, don't get me started. I love Paul Wall. I'm a Paul Wall. I love him. Yeah, that was a good song.
It was, and it's so underrated. Like people forget like how good that song was. Like if you think of Brooke Hogan, I immediately go to that. I mean, she did have a song called "Everything You Want," which Hulk Hogan is the janitor in that music video. She's like at the friggin' like football field and she's doing like a cheerleading routine.
I
Have you ever
didn't
seen
even
that
know
music
about
video?
that song.
Yeah, that was like her first hit. They played it on TRL like a couple times. Yeah, I have to send it to you. It's actually not bad.
Really, I'm about to see it. I love About Us because I love like watching because I watch Hogan Knows Best. Obviously, my mom was a big Hulk Hogan fan, so like when that was a thing, we watched it. We even recorded it on VHS. You know what I mean? So like, I watched the whole thing, and I like thought she was so pretty, and she was like the song was so good, and you know what I mean? And like, I love her. I love that song. Everything was good about it. I don't know if it even got that much radio play. I think I might have saw it on TV like a handful of times, to be honest with you. And every time I saw it, I was like really happy to see it.
No, I remember it being on like MTV2 or Fuse at the time.
Yes. Oh, I love Fuse. Don't give me. Oh, I missed that. That was all I watched for a long time. Yep. I love Fuse. Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, friggin' like they played it all the time when he was feuding with Randy Orton in 06. Like they would promote that album religiously.
Oh, yes. That Randy, that's my favorite Randy's though, when he was feuding with all them people. And yeah, that was
Legend Killer Randy.
He was so cute then. Yeah. I didn't like whenever he shaved his head. That's whenever everything went.
Yeah. On the 09.
Psycho Randy then. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like 2009 Randy, you know?
Yep. Now, speaking of Randy, I got to ask you because they played something on SmackDown besides Logan Paul and LA Knight. Are you looking forward to down the line Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton for the title, heel Randy again?
So I kind of wish. So I guess they're playing it up, but I just don't. I don't know. Yeah. It would be a good circle, and it would make Cody look. Yeah, I mean it'd be a good circle, but I kind of wish they'd hold off a bit because like. I don't think they have enough, like, because, like, yeah, they were in Legacy together and he's helping him and stuff, but, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe because it's Randy. I know he's going to turn, so it's going to happen. He keeps looking at the bell and, yeah, he's just too obvious. Randy is. But I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how soon it's going to happen. I wonder.
That's my thing, too. I think you draw it out for a little bit. I mean, right now we got Cody and Solo at SummerSlam, which I'm for because Solo Sikoa and his 2 years on the roster, he's gotten leaps and bounds. Like, I'm enjoying the new bloodline with the Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga Loa, and we have Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf, especially from his run in MLW with what we get to see now. My goodness, like, I'm loving this storyline.
Real quick about MLW. So I liked him in MLW, but I didn't because he was in Contra.
Contra unit, yeah.
My brother loved Contra though, but MLW brings great people. Him and Hammerstone's feud. Love Hammerstone. I wish they'd bring him in. I wish they had the dynasty in AEW because I don't want to see MJF WWE just yet. I don't know when that'll ever happen. I'm not saying I just want MJF to be MJF. That's all I want in my life. That's all I ever want. But I want the Dynasty to come back in like a full, like big, like the same as MLW because they were funny. Like I really liked their segments, but on a bigger scale and like more stuff, like Inner Circle. Like take Inner Circle and take MLW and put it together, and that's what I want to. I want to see. I want to see so bad because I love Richard Holiday and I love Hammerstone. I love MJF and Gino was good, but they kind of has an outcast. But I wish they would brought him in and made him more like them. But he was like definitely more of an outcast. I don't know if you watched MLW like that then. Okay,
I'm aware of it, yes. I know.
Yeah,
I'm aware.
I was so deep into it at that point. Like I was really into it. And then the pandemic like killed it. It made me very sad. Yeah.
No, I'm right there with you because for those who've not checked out MLW even before the pandemic, like it's really good television, very captivating. I know we got more
great.
Selena De La Renta and Dario Cueto involved now, which is awesome. But no, what I like how you mentioned it, I got to bring it up because I know you're another one of these type of girls. And what I mean by that is the MJF girl over here.
I am.
We're going to talk about your boy because he's a heel again. He just came off the 1 hour matchup, 59-58, if you will, with Will Ospreay. He's the new international champion on Dynamite. You happy to see MJF with another title belt, man?
I love him with belts. You know that. He looks good with gold. He looks good in general. Have you seen his body? He's been putting in work. I don't know why he needed an oxygen mask. That was definitely like he is. That's why I love him. Like this is like those little things that are like, gee, but like they like he's like, you know, talking and taking it off, and I love him. Yeah, he's just good. I like him no matter what he is. Like he's just funny. He just says the best stuff, I think, and he's really good in the ring too.
Well, it's the subtleties, intricacies, and nuance. Because he's like, it's too easy. See it? It's too easy. Like it's too easy.
It's too easy, and he's like, too easy.
Too easy.
Yeah, I love that. Like I love him. Like he is. Yeah, and I will always say, and I was just thinking about this the other day because people talk about promos and storylines and stuff like that, and I was thinking to myself, if I personally like, because like I'm older, like when I was younger, when I was like a little girl, the storylines I liked was not like actually that good. You know what I mean? There wasn't actually much to them. But now that I'm like older and I would actually say like start with the finish, like one that I really liked is obviously the Punk and MJF. Like that one was just beautiful. Like and then Cody and MJF feud, most of his feuds, I think I said that before, is like, that's why I think I love him so much because like he just does it right. Not all of them, but you can at least count like almost on your hand, like good, solid start to finish. Like you can watch it and it's just good over and over.
For me, the MJF feuds I really enjoyed, much like yourself. The Cody feud, the Punk feud. The Jericho feud was all right, but I think my main two were the Cody feud, the Punk feud, the Adam Cole feud, until we got to the because we knew he was the devil, but also at the same time, like they didn't really follow up except for him just coming back and hitting a brainbuster on Adam Cole. Like, unfortunately, he was injured, Adam Cole, but we really didn't get a payoff to like an actual match.
I just wish that they would pick up. I know this is wrestling. I know this is pro wrestling. I know, but I just wish people would pick back up. Like I always say that. Like I wish that whenever Punk came back and he had the thing and he had it, I wish they would have had because one was the real champion and one was injured and had to lose the champion and one thinks he is and one was, and he put the X on it. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying though? Like it could have been so good. And then yeah. There's so many, yeah.
Well, there's contributing factors that unfortunately did happen. And I will say this, since we are on the topic of AEW, this one brings up a great point. Because you see, folks, we talk before we do these shows. We're marinating, we're manifesting, if you will, what we're going to talk on this show. So I got to bring this up because it is a common thing that people do talk about. And Roxy Main, my main one over here, I got to get your thoughts and analysis on this. So you were telling me, like, you know, AEW used to be my favorite, but, you know, here, what I mean by this is, first of all, we don't hate AEW, but also number two, the thing is they're more where the best to wrestle and everything's more wrestling oriented. What is it about AEW that kind of took you out like a little bit right now? Like a little something, if you will. Go ahead.
What do you think is the reason why I'm
like, yeah, not like your favorite like used to be, because we were talking about how it used to be like your favorite, but it's not as much. Yeah.
So I don't know how or what exactly, but you know what I'm saying? But this is the feeling of it.
Okay.
Like when I first started watching it and like for like a while, like I'm not saying like, oh, only the first few months. Like, no, I'm talking about like the first like 2 years, literally 2 to 3 years. each like pay-per-view, almost everything felt like important. Like every match, you were like, oh, I can't wait to see that. Like, oh, you know what I mean? Like they were like really taking turns and building up stuff. And for a while now, it feels like they really just do throw things more together. Like they really do mark on the names, which is cool. And I don't mind names because I like names, but I would like to like kind of care. You know
No
what I mean?
more
Like,
about it.
it's
Yeah,
just
give me more.
yeah, it's starting to get to a point like that they're just bringing in too many names because before it was like, okay, this it was just a few names. You know what I mean? Like once in a while, but like now it's like constantly names that you don't know and they're randomly showing up and like you know what I'm saying? Like for example, like this past Dynamite, the first match was MJF and Will Ospreay, obviously. Now, do you remember the last match was Penta and obviously Ray. Do you
Yeah.
know who it was against?
I honestly, for this last dynamite that we saw, I mean, it was main evented by Swerve and Okada, but like Pentagon and them, they put him with like some AAA talent or whoever. They did that a few times with the Blackpool Combat Club. It's like I get you have a not AAA CML, I'm sorry, but the CMLL talents, like they put him with Penta and Ray, they put him with the Blackpool Combat Club. I like how you bring this up too because it's like okay, they're from CMLL. What else? Tell me more about them. Give me a video package. I'll give you another example because I like that
They
you're bringing. Yeah,
they stopped the video packages. They used to have really good ones for people. Like they used to take from good sources that has followed them that can give you good ideas of them and made them. And I get it's a lot of work, but you're doing a lot of work. Like you're producing how many hours of wrestling, and you know what I mean. And I know it's a lot, but
yeah, and it's
he's
like
doing great with it.
right, and you had Blue Demon Jr. coming in, you know, friggin' friggin' his kid or whoever it was. Oh no, whoever the fuck the guy was that Chris Jericho was fighting, it was his son, Atlantis Jr. There you go. So Atlantis Jr. It's like, well, Chris Jericho wrestled his
Whose kid was he? Whose kid is he?
Atlantis, like some Mexican talent that Jericho wrestled back in Mexico or wherever, like in the '90s, and they're like, well, Atlantis Jr. is the son of Atlantis, who Chris Jericho wrestled back in '90s. You're just bringing this up now. Like, why are we doing it like out of the blue?
I'm not trying to be. I love wrestling for the circles. You know what I'm saying? I love the circle of life. It's like I love the cycles. I love the generation stuff. I love the, you know what I'm saying? Like I like that stuff. But whenever you really don't have knowledge of it, when people really don't have knowledge of it, like, you know what I mean? I will like, you know what I mean? Because that's just too damn deep. 90s in Mexico, no offense, but who really can tell you about Jericho from Mexico in the 90s when he was the Lionheart?
When he was
That's all
Corazon
we
de
know.
Leon, yeah.
Was he Lionheart in Mexico? Was that it or no?
Yeah, Corazon de Leon, Lionheart. Yeah, it translates to Lionheart. Yeah.
Okay, I'm making sure. I'm sorry. But, you know what I mean? Not many people knew him. I mean, well, we know of it and we know clips
But we
of
didn't
it.
watch it like religiously. We weren't tape trading back in the 90s.
We weren't. No.
Right.
And a lot of people who were tape trading, you know, maybe they would be cool with it. And it's just they're doing too many of them. They're doing too many of it.
I mean, they just had Hologram debut on Collision. I know they ran like a few vignettes for like 2 or 3 times, but if you're watching the guy, what is special that like El Hijo del Vikingo didn't do? Because it's just a lucha stuff all over again. You're just bringing in more talents, doing the same stuff. Like El Hijo del Vikingo, him and Kenny Omega. Oh, they wrestled. They were supposed to wrestle in AAA with COVID, but I'm like, here's my thing. Not a lot of people watch AAA that deep. Like we know of it, but we don't watch AAA like that. Like the first time I saw El Hijo del Vikingo, I'm gonna ask you if you remember this. So when TNA like worked with AAA and like the Mexico shows that they had for Impact, like he wrestled on like a couple of those like before COVID. That's how I knew of El Hijo del Vikingo. He wrestled some X Division matches, but
so
then now
I knew him after that. Because he was a little hot on the indies after COVID, like just recently. And when they brought him into AEW, like I saw a bunch of clips, like, you know what I mean, from like indie shows. That's all I knew him from was indie shows, which that's why I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, when you've seen him.
Right. And I mean, we'll bring it on the women's side here, and you could appreciate this as well, my fellow female wrestling fan and fanatic that you are. Let's talk about how Mina Shirakawa comes in, and I like Mina Shirakawa, don't get me wrong, but how you presented the feud with Toni Storm and Mariah May, how like, you know, there's this conflict because Mariah May teamed with her in Stardom and her being the Toni Storm, like, you know, her protege and whatnot. But I'm like, oh my God, it's Mina Shirakawa from Stardom. People are going to look at that like, who? Because it's just like, okay, she's from Stardom. What else besides that she's a Japanese wrestler from Stardom? Oh, her and Mariah used to be like a team. Okay. You just brought this woman out here out of mothballs because to have the Tony Storm Mariah.
It's hard because you have to pick and choose because you have to know what's gonna pop and what's really gonna work and what's just gonna be a cameo. It's like hard and it's kind of heartbreaking to say that to people because, for example, you're saying that about her, right? Mm-hmm. Then someone's like, oh well, why wouldn't you say that about someone like whenever Ethan Page was on NXT and hit Trick when someone what's the what I mean? But it's like. And people would see that as the same, but we don't see it as the same. Other people would be like, that is the same. Get what I'm saying? They're from other references. But Stardom, like you said, like Japanese wrestling is more towards hardcore. You know what I mean? Which, like, I call myself like I'm like a medium fan. I don't want to say more towards hardcore than I am casual, like obviously. But I don't want to say hardcore because I'm not very familiar with Japan stuff. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm lucky to know about American stuff and a little bit of Japan, like a little bit.
So let's just be honest with ourselves here. The reason why she calls herself a medium fan, folks say mid, is because MJF says mid. Let's be honest.
I'm trying to, like, make sense of, you know what I'm saying? Because like, all them hardcore. Because I'm like, if you would meet me, you'd be like, oh, yeah, hardcore and talk, obviously hardcore. But then it's like, oh, but you don't know about Japan, though? No.
Well, that's the other problem is people got to be saying, oh, you mean to tell me you don't know about Japanese wrestling? No, we're not. We don't read the fucking news.
Like, I'm lucky. I can't even watch TNA when I want to. Okay. I still got that problem. Damn it.
Oh, okay. Well, let's be honest with ourselves here. I know you've seen some of the stuff. We mentioned Ethan Page as the NXT World Champion.
Oh, I love it. I love him.
Me too. We've seen Joe Hendry on WWE, the Rascals on NXT. Yes. We saw a lot of them on TNA. I know. No Quarter Catch Crew. What do you think about the NXT TNA relationship?
To be honest with you, amazing. I've been super happy with it. Extremely. Well, because I've always wanted to see the Rascals together on TV, like together, because you had, I keep calling them the regular, but Dez is now Wesley. So we have Wesley, and then you had Zach. Was he Zach on TNA too?
He was Zachary once on TNA. When he was in WWE, he was Nash Carter.
Nash Carter. Okay, but I still know them as Zach. So I still know them, like, because I first seen them in Chicago in 2019, October. And they, like, blew my mind. That's when I first saw Will Ospreay, too. And, like, I loved them so much. So, like, ever since then, I've, like, always wanted to see them together, all three of them, like Trey and all of them. So I'm happy to see all three of them together, not just two or one. I'm happy to see all three because they were great, like, amazing together. Like, I know people are, like, milking that whole three groups everywhere, but them together as threes, like, they need to be threes. Like, them three together is amazing.
I think what I like about it too is if you get, and it's like they mentioned on NXT, so if you're going to get MSK, you get Zach and Wes, like the tag team. If you're going to do the three of them, it's the Rascals. I like how they differentiated that. And
I like that too.
Me too. And I like the fact that the Hardy Boys just did an interview, and Matt Hardy said, I would be interested in going for the NXT tag titles, the one tag titles that the Hardys have never held. And they'd be interested. Like, I would be cool with, like, the Hardys against Axiom and Nathan Fraser, the Hardys against the OC, the Hardys against the Family, the Hardys against MSK.
It'd be good to see it, right?
Yeah.
But
yes.
I'd like to see it. I don't want them to carry any belts, though.
Right. I see where you're coming from because
I just don't want to see them carry any belts because it's like, how long can they really carry them? How can they even, like, I'm not trying to be mean, but, like, they were about to win the AEW championships and that
that went
got messed up, and so it'd be nice to see, but it'd be nice. It'd be cool. But I always feel like they keep finding things, like, they kind of keep finding things. Because no offense, they were like, AEW, we're going to wrap it up together.
Yeah.
They ain't. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not saying that they, like, but I'm just saying, like, I do believe in, like, knowing when it's time to go and knowing when it's time to, like, I know about John Cena, people are heartbroken, but it's like, no, he knows when it's, and the reason why we feel cheated about John Cena is because of him and the acting shit, but, like, he knows it's time to go. It's time almost to go. Or, like, come as once in a while, or give your knowledge to somebody else, or, you know what I mean? Like, take care of your body and, like, enjoy life while you still have it.
First off, you're not being mean. Let's just put that out there. I know what you're. I know.
I know, but it sounds mean though, because because people say, "Why don't you think that way about Rey Mysterio?" I don't think that way about Rey Mysterio. I got very offended. I heard someone talk about him retiring at a Raw. Someone behind me was like, "You should go retire, Rey." Dude, I was heated.
I bet.
I don't think Rey, like, he might be. That's his own thing. But when it comes to like in ring, he don't look like he missed a step. Like he looks like he's still, you know what I mean? Like he still looks really good. He still looks safe. He doesn't make me feel like, oh my God, he's gonna hurt himself. Like I don't think that way. Like when I see Rey wrestle, I don't think, oh my God, he's gonna hurt himself.
Yeah, he can still go, but the Hardys, I think, Matt is 50, Jeff is 47, John Cena is in like his 40s, almost 50 now. And let's be honest,
50, ain't he 50 something too? So
early
that's why
50s, early 50s. But here's my thing with John. It's like John's been on the main roster since 02. Like he's been with WWE with 22 years. Like it's time to go. Like that's again, not being mean, but you know when your time is up. Like you mentioned, the last time is now. With him, finish out 2025, have a great year, and call it a day.
And the beautiful thing is, and they say this, but people don't. And the beautiful thing is that the fact that he can do that, and they're allowing him to make a run that's about him. You know what I mean? Like in this industry, people retire all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like either they have to because of X, Y, and Z, or, you know, they just fall off and then they just keep wrestling on the indies, and then they're old and then they have to retire on the indies. And you know what I mean? Or like, you know, what I'm saying, like the fact that he's able to be on TV and have a whole, you know, year planned out, and them honoring him like that is like very awesome for him. You know what I mean? And like great for us as fans too.
I think it's interesting because I first started watching wrestling in 02 when John Cena made his debut, the ruthless aggression, smacking Kurt Angle in the face, and leading to the word life. This is basic thugonomics, the fuck rules, and the whole chain gang and whatnot. But I think what's great about John Cena is he was always able to evolve his character. And I think what's interesting, like if you really look at the OVW class of 2002, Randy Orton is still the only one who's like really active right now, which is crazy to think. Like when we had Lesnar, Batista, Shelton Benjamin, all these guys like in WWE, like the only one who's really still there is Randy Orton.
Yeah, and you can't even, I'll be honest with you, but then you think about all these ones retiring, but we don't even think for a second about Randy Orton retiring.
No.
We don't. But it's like, but then again, he talked about how he had like a restoration. And honestly, his body looks like it's in really great condition. Like, you know what I mean? And honestly, he is in the ring more than John too, if you really think about it. Like, he really is. So that's why he would have, you know what I mean? But like, I couldn't imagine Randy retiring anytime soon.
I think with Randy is you give him like another couple of years, and I think with what
like
he's doing,
you think 5? Maybe 10.
Well, with the way he's going, Jesus.
What's today? What's this year? 2024.
Yeah, 2034, hanging up 10 years.
34.
Well, I mean, he's still. I mean, you also understand, like Randy Orton is like in his 40s now too. He's like what, like 44, 45.
He's been doing this shit since he was like 21, 19, right?
Well, yeah, well, with the OVW, yeah, but he was on the roster same time as John, too. So he was like 22 when he was on the main roster.
Okay, I was going to say, I thought he was about 21, 22. Young. Yeah. He was young because he was the youngest champion.
Yes, ma'am. Now, I'm gonna add this to you because we talk about people getting older, and we just talk about what a dumbass Adam Copeland is with that friggin' elbow drop off the goddamn barbed wire cage.
I love him. He's living his best life.
I know, but like, what were you doing there, Adam? Like, I'm like, he would have been fine with like a splash or something, but he came down on his leg and he friggin', oh man, it was rough. I mean, it was great to see Gangrel. Let's put that over. The Brood reuniting, which was cool.
Finally, right? Because we thought that was going to happen at WrestleMania.
Oh, then Vince even said in the interview, Vince was like, you know, nobody's going to remember Gangrel. I'm like,
see, like, that wasn't that long ago, though. Gangrel wasn't that long ago. Like, he was Attitude, and people want to talk about nostalgia. Like, sometimes people kind of think things are better than what they really were sometimes. Yeah. And that's better for professional wrestling, I think, sometimes.
No, I agree. And the problem is, like, I mean, I like Gangrel too, but people remember the Brood, the iconic entrance of coming through the fire and the bloodbaths. And I mean, you equated that to what Edge was feuding with the House of Black, but I think it's just because, again, he's 52. Early 50s, not like 52, but he's also 50.
He's early. Yeah.
And I mean, I look at that jump and I'm like, oh man, I can even tell. Like you can tell when he was coming down. I'm like, this is not going to be good. But I mean, hey man. Then Tony Khan, being Tony Khan, they asked him about Adam Copeland. He's like, this is the best run he's ever had ever. And he's just getting all happy because this is his best run ever in AEW. And yeah, he's doing it for the sickos. Now I got to ask you about Tony.
He's doing it for the sickos. You know why? Because he couldn't be as much as maybe he always wanted to be like this, and
he couldn't. The shackles are off, baby.
Now the shackles are off. He, you know what I mean? But maybe also, no offense, but maybe he feels like he has to. Look what he's running up against. I'm not trying to be like
that, but yeah, no, it's.
Where the hell's the Sammy Guevara? That's my real question in my life. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about.
No, you're fine. So
I'm thinking about what he's running up against, and I was thinking about people jumping around and people doing crazy shit.
Sammy Guevara is
Sammy jumping around. That's one of my boys. I love him.
Here's my thing with that. So I like your style because that actually translations to what I'm going to say. So
is it?
Yes. So Adam Copeland, like we mentioned, like
I love Adam, by the way. I always do. I'm so happy to see him, and I'm happy for him, and I hope that I know Christian's really doing a good thing with him, like, and I love what he's doing, kind of, because it's like, but I also want to see like 5-second pose just for maybe one night. Maybe someone could hit Christian in the head really hard, right? He goes back to being like, what the fuck? You know, like, and then at the end of the night, someone knocks him in the fucking head, and then he like turns on edge again. That'd be funny.
Yeah, almost like
I would like that. That would make sense.
Yes, almost like the Festus deal, ring the bell. You know what I'm saying with the catatonic state.
Biscuits and gravy.
Maybe you man.
Yeah.
But
maybe,
no, yes. Christian is now the trios champion with him, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. I mean, the Christian's doing some of his best work. Adam Copeland is keeping up with a lot of the young talents, a lot of guys he's never faced. And Sammy Guevara, I think, is still suspended after that shooting star press that hit Jeff Hardy right in the face and broke his nose. So I think that he's, I know, right? After all that time, he's still like, we haven't seen Sammy Guevara in like a while.
No offense. This sounds really bad, but I think it's time for Sammy to just go to not AEW, for him to go to like NXT or something, somewhere different. I'm not trying to be, because listen, don't get me wrong. Like, he was like hot because of, you know, Inner Circle and shit, but he has had so many incidents there. And don't get me wrong. Like, these are just like, it can happen to anybody. Like, this could happen to Ricky Starks. This could happen to Hook. This could happen to Samoa Joe. This could happen to Jeff Hardy. This could like Jeff Hardy could have hit someone with the same thing, vice versa, right? Would it have been taken the same way? Would it?
Okay.
What if Jeff did that to Sammy and Sammy fucked up his nose? Would Jeff be suspended this long for doing the Sammy Guevara?
Well, you're putting me into a corner here. So I like how you brought that up. You like your role reversal.
It's a real thing, though.
It is.
It's a real thing. And he keeps on getting and it's because the stuff that they do, and I don't get me wrong, I you know what I mean, it's accidents, and I'm in his professional wrestling, and he's not paralyzing them. And I'm not saying I don't want him to. I'm not saying, you know, but I'm saying like they're legit. Like, you watched it, and it's like Sammy didn't do it on purpose. You can tell, like, you kind of can tell that Jeff wasn't in the right place. It looked like.
I think it's.
I don't know. I'm not a wrestler.
I think it's with Sammy, like when he hurt Matt Hardy with the concrete floor, like on the concrete, his head bounced, and then the Jeff thing. He had a fight with Kingston and Andrade backstage. I think with Sammy, it's just Sammy is a hothead. And I think with you, like with your thing about him going to NXT, I could see him in TNA as a part of the X division. Like
something, like just something, maybe something new. Does it? Well, I know that like the Eddie Kingston thing was kind of like,
yeah, you fat shamed him. Yeah, you fat shamed him.
You didn't go over that with me, bub. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't talk to me about that. Yeah, the fat shaming thing. And then the Andrade thing, I'm not sure about that.
Oh, well, he pretty much told Andrade, is like, you know, you weren't relevant there. Now you come here. And then Andrade was like, you know, this guy over here and whatever. And I think I forgot the whole thing, but it resulted in like, you know, Andrade's like, next time I see you, I'm going to slap you in the face. And he did. And Tony's like, you got to stop that right now. Because he doesn't want to break up a fight. As you know, he's in fear for his life.
You don't want to. Very scared.
All right, we're gonna go here now, and I know we're all over the place, but this is what we do. And
We're
that
bad. It's
that's
probably worse with me because my brain is bad. Somehow we never finished LA Knight and Logan Paul.
no, you're fine. I'm looking for we mentioned the U.S. title thing, like I said. So
We did, but we never finished it. We just keep bouncing, but it's all right. They can follow us.
yeah, you can follow us. Come on now, follow along.
Come on,
Follow
let's
along.
go.
Let's go.
Keep up.
Take it up with us. Come on, go down the rabbit hole with us. Let's go. So we have. Well, I'll mention this with Tony Khan because we mentioned the sickos. Tony Khan, with what really has also, we talk about AEW and the stuff. What really kind of also hurts them is because he had to air that doggone footage of CM Punk putting Jack Perry in the guillotine choke that lasted like 5 seconds, and then Samoa Joe quickly brought it up. The problem that makes him look bad is CM Punk went on Ariel Helwani, and he said the exact same thing of what happened in that video. And you're acting like this was a big thing. The problem is we saw that video. A lot of us have been in scraps in our life. That was not something that would make me fear for my life. Him doing this is not lunging at you, Tony. This is him yelling at you. This is not fucking lunging. This is him sticking his finger like, you should have fucking done something. Yeah.
He might have been scared because it is Punk. And if you think about it, right, this ain't a regular human being.
True.
Like, you know what I mean? These are wrestlers.
Right.
They're intimidating. Just their essence, kind of like they don't mean to be, but like I can see because Tony's scrawny and skinny and like, and he's not like now Vince McMahon. Like I don't think that he would feel that way because he like kept up with him. You know, he did for years. He kept up with them. Like, yo, you big, I'm big too. That's how Vince was. And you know what I mean? Like
Vince McMahon once threatened to kick Kurt Angle's ass. Like he was ready to fight Kurt for those text messages when he was all fucked up. And Vince was like, "Oh, you want to kick my ass? All right, let's go." He was ready to fight Kurt. He was ready to fight an Olympic gold medalist.
Of Kurt Angle, you know what I'm saying? Like that just tells you like Vince is a little. But that's why he's been able to do what he did. I mean, not everyone's perfect, obviously, but
true.
He's everyone has two sides to him, but he's when it comes to wrestling, it takes to be like a little bit off, just a little bit, because he made it work for so many years, and other people hasn't been able to.
The thing with Vince too, as well, and again, I'm not condoning what Vince McMahon's action is. I think what he's done is horrid, and he's terrible. He's a horrible human being. I'm saying as a boss. Wrestling. We're referring to wrestling, folks. When he was the boss, as Jim Cornette has said, it was like being in the principal's office because he was very authoritative and he was very firm. Like with Chris Jericho and Brock Lesnar were about to go at it at SummerSlam 2006 after Brock busted Randy Orton the F up. Jericho and him were like exchanging words and they were going to fight. And Vince goes, "If you guys continue it, I'm going to fire you both." Tony Khan is like, "What do you want me to do?" Be a boss. Because again, this is the issue with Tony. He wants to be their friend. He wants to be their friend instead of being a boss. He wants to.
There has to be like a line though, right. Like, and I don't know. Like, I feel like there was like both with Vince with some people, and sometimes like you know what I mean. But I think, for example, right now Triple H, right?
Yeah.
He's always been one of the boys, and he still talks like one. He still acts like one, but you can still see that he does have like authority though. Like he has control over what's going on.
Which you make a great point because Triple H being a student of the game and being one of the boys and as a former professional wrestler, you know it's Triple H. You could talk to him, but also at the same time, it's like
that's my boss.
Yes,
not like
yeah, not like I love you guys like that. And I don't mean to do the Tony Khan voice a lot, but it's just how he acts. And like Eric Bischoff, he never drew $1 million game WCW. We did for Forbidden Door. Like that doesn't need to be said. And the sickos stuff is what gets me because it's like stop with the sickos. We're doing it for the sickos. Fucking man, did you watch the Behind the Curtain with the Rock and Cena and all that stuff yet with Cody? Did you watch any of that yet with the Cody?
I watched it, but like I didn't hear it like fully, like to actually digest it. But I heard it and watched a little bit of it.
And it's not bad. It's very informative of how we got to Cody and Roman and that angle with The Rock. And how
you ever hear people, they were saying they're like, why it took so long to go out and why it's on YouTube for an hour because they didn't want The Rock to look like a piece of shit. Did you ever hear people?
Oh God. Yeah.
I wonder, I don't know. I don't think it's, I really do feel like it was all like really like a work to begin with.
And we just say The Rock has become a meme with that. Oh, I told them, I should be a bad guy and all that. I'm like, I'm sure that happened, but here's the thing. at the end of the day, you wanted it to be you versus Roman. It was supposed to happen the year before, but you, in your heart of hearts, wanted it to be. Don't act like, oh, I had a sudden change of heart. It's like, oh, I guess I got to turn heel now. It's like it was originally supposed to be you and Roman. You wanted it to be you and Roman, but plans changed, and now we got what we got, which was a great story. And Triple H talked about having it planned since October. Stuff changes, and he talks about how he books the navigation. It's like a GPS, and it's like, okay, it makes sense where they want to go. That was why I was comparing it to Tony and the fucking Sickos, because, like, again, this, and they actually have that T-shirt on AEW Shop, like, for the Sickos. They really do. There's a Sickos T-shirt on AEW Shop.com.
So I haven't been too much on AEW. It's just mostly just hardcore. Is that what you're saying? Like, just more?
It's booked more towards like the hardcore fans because of where the best wrestle. Think of like when WCW, where the big boys play, but WCW with Eric Bischoff did, like when you brought in Luger and Hogan and you had these names, it equated to, because Tony Khan likes to act like we're nothing like WCW. Okay, you brought in John Moxley, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, all these people who were in the WWE. That's exactly, you're taking all the WWE names. You're not focusing on the homegrown talent. Like MJF is a homegrown fucking talent of AEW. He's been there since day one.
He's the only one that actually gets any type of, you know what I'm saying? Like, actual, it seems like, because I'll be honest with you, the whole like Young Buck stuff is like so boring.
Oh man, thank you. Thank you so
much. I don't like it. And then that Rainmaker, I don't even understand, like.
Well, the Okada thing is, and first of all, have you seen Okada's work in New Japan or no? Okay, all right. Okay, we're about to throw some stank on this. So here we go. So Kazuchika, no, you're fine. Kazuchika Okada, IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, some Rainmakers.
I like his name.
I do too. Well, here's the thing. I love you for this, so we're gonna go into this. So Okada, what they're doing now is like he was this badass in New Japan. Now he's just the comedy guy. Like he says bitch and everybody laughs, like when Ron Simmons would say, damn, Okada's saying bitch, and it's like supposed to be funny. Like, but here's my thing. Jungle Boy, who was like 5'5", $120, saying shit and trying to act like a badass. No. And you got the Young Bucks. Like, I'm not feeling it either. Like, I'm over it. Like, they took out Tony Khan with the Meltzer driver and whatnot, and nothing. Then Tony's right back on TV. They got Christopher Daniels acting like not so Adam Pearce over here, like the messenger, the errand
almost
boy.
The same.
It's the same thing.
It's the same exact. Yeah.
I'm bored with it. I'm over it. And you know what else I'm over? Chris Jericho and this learning tree bullshit. Hi guys. I don't like him with Big Bill and Brian Keith. Oh, good.
I know that the reason why Jericho's doing the whole annoying voice is because he wants to be annoying. He wants you not to like it. And, you know, there's a difference. I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I guess you're not going to love everything. But I just think there's a difference between, like, something that you know that's annoying, but it's funny, or something that's, just, like, straight annoying. And, like, I was watching the thing today, and just Dynamite, where he, like, came out, and it's a learning tree, and
Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah. And he's, like, telling, you know that there's so many homicides and blah, 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 blah. Like, tell him some types of fact.
Yes.
And it's like, it's just like the facts are just, if you got rid of the facts, like maybe give me like one fact if you're like walking, I don't know, like not, I want to hear a fact about the town.
Did you guys know that the population of Wyoming and this is that? Because I know a lot about this. Hi guys. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's funny though, whenever he was walking in the background, like in the back with them, and he was pointing to things and he was like saying, and you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I think that was funny. Like that was funny, but like in the ring, like it wasn't funny. Like maybe take like the annoying concept, but not the like facts. You know what I'm saying? Like cut the promo and be annoying and be know-it-all, but yeah.
I feel you. I mean, but like again, we talk about the booking. You just had Big Bill as one of the half of the world tag champs of Ricky Starks. And now no more Ricky Starks. Because like
why? Is he out for something?
No, he's not even injured. It's just I think a lot of stuff's been coming out, and I can honestly see him going to WWE. I literally could because Cody's there.
I hope, hopefully they'll let him talk and be him.
But the problem was Ricky Starks. It's like, I don't want to rush into this feud with Big Bill right away. I don't want to continue to do the tag team stuff. Like he was over it. Like he was over how he was being booked. Now you got Big Bill being the Redwood, and here comes Brian Keith out of nowhere, who originally we thought was going to like go against Jericho, but then he's with Chris Jericho. Don't you disrespect Chris Jericho? And now he's the bad apple. And I'm like, Brian Keith's like 5'2". Like,
But do you know anything about him though? Like,
He-
did you know anything about him before AEW or?
until they announced him? No. So what I do know about him is he trained at whatchamacallit, Booker T's school, the Revolution, the whatchamacallit, the Reality Wrestling Revolution.
Reality of Wrestling. I liked him a lot. Like, he was the bounty hunter. Like, he was always in so I only watched him once at Loco,
Mhm.
but he was always in the New Texas Pro. He was like the champ for like forever, I swear. Yeah, like he was like, I liked him a lot. Like, I still do like him. You know what I mean? And I kind of like the bad apple thing. I think it's like kind of funny. But it's not, it kind of feels like the same thing as what they were doing with Will Hobbs. But it's not as aggressive though. But maybe maybe I'm mixing something up because I was on Sammy's vlogs. Never mind. So on Sammy's vlogs, he would just steal shit from people. He'd be like, "Hey, you got that?" Like, you just take things. It'd be hilarious. I don't know if you. Yeah, I'm mixing up wrestling with Sammy's vlogs, but Sammy's like, that's what he would have. Like Will Hobbs would just like steal shit from people like all the time on Sammy's vlogs. It was like funny, but like aggressive. But like him, it's just funny. Like I don't mind the bad apple, but Chris is getting like kind of stale, sadly. And I know he's trying his best. I know he is, but I just don't like what he's doing. But it's okay. Like, he's just trying.
I feel you. I mean, there's a lot of stuff with AEW where, again, they're bouncing around. And again, don't hate it. It's been around for 5 years. So, I mean, we'll see where we continue to grow. But as of right now, a lot of the stuff that's on there is stale. I'm glad that you said the Young Bucks. No, it's getting boring because I am right in that same category.
I hate that because I like love the Young
Me
Bucks
too.
too.
Like Generation Me and Motor City Machine Guns from TNA. Give me that. Give me the Young Bucks and the Briscoes. Give me all of that. But yeah, I'm just like, no, I can't deal with this.
This I don't know why they're doing a really bad job at this authority thing.
Because it went nowhere. It went nowhere. They took out Tony Khan, then here comes Christopher Daniels, and Tony Khan's back on TV, and they did nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, but then they're like constantly though, like running the show though.
Yeah, now we're having them next week in the Blood and Guts against the Acclaimed and Darby Allin and Swerve and whatnot and all that. And I mean Mark Briscoe, but yeah, it's just like, all right, okay.
Swerve's a champion right now, right?
Yeah, he's facing Bryan Danielson at All In for the title, which I'm looking forward to that. Bryan Danielson's last run, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be good.
Is it his last run right now?
Yeah, we're getting towards him. Like,
we're getting towards it because he wanted to retire for his kid.
Yeah, which is nice. And also at the same time, Bryan Danielson is another one who's been wrestling for over like 20 plus years. Like, you know.
But we forget because he lost 7 years with his neck, right?
True.
He lost 7.
About 7, yeah.
So did Edge. He lost about 7 years. I think around all of them lost about 7 to 5 years each. You know?
That's the thing too. And I mean, I'm glad that they got a second chance to do what they love. But if Bryan could go out like how he's going to go out, I think that's going to be awesome. I mean, there's a lot of wrestling coming up, folks. SummerSlam, All In.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be a good time for the summertime of professional wrestling. And another thing I do have to ask you about professional wrestling wise, because this one in here groups, because we're both a part of a lot of wrestling groups. Yes. The Von Erichs, these people. All right, what happened? So I'll bring it up to the people and I'll comment. So the Von Erichs, somebody wrote about the Von Erichs.
Wait a minute. Okay, I wish I could bring it up right now. So I read this post that was and it was like do you think that they should bring the Von Erichs onto AEW television? Like, actually sign them and actually bring them onto the roster. And then this, like, meme, like, page, this person wrote, no, like, that is just to, make the hardcore hardcore fans pop, and that it would make no sense, and that they have no, you know what I mean? Like, all.
Wait a minute, hold on here. This is the Von Erichs, the legendary Von Erich family, Iron Claw with Zac Efron, the movie based off the legendary Von Erich family, like Texas, the Freebirds, like hello. And I mean, they're in Arlington, Texas with their vacancy there. Them and Dustin Rhodes, a part of the Rhodes family, are going to be in a 6-man tag. So it pops that area because if you're in Texas, how do you not have Ross and wrestle and have Kevin be involved? Like, how do you not? And that's the thing, too. I mean, you could say what you will about Lacey Von Erich. Lacey Von Erich, not so much. Like, the beautiful people at DNA, not the best of wrestlers, but she tried. Yeah. But
Lacey was whose kid? Carrie's, right?
Carrie's, yes.
Yeah, but I don't think that they played that she was a Von Erich though. I don't think they really played on that, did they? Really?
In TNA when she was in the
In
Beautiful People?
TNA? Yeah.
Who was
I
Lacey
was
Von?
young
Oh
though.
yeah, okay. So yeah, she was Lacey Von Erich in TNA. She was a part of the Beautiful People for a little bit, but yeah, they played like Lacey Von Erich, but you know.
Okay. I see. I didn't really like. It was very short of her being with them because I mostly just remember Velvet Sky and
Yeah, it was very short because then Angelina Love came back and then they recruited.
Angelina Love. Yeah, I remember Madison being with them longer than her.
Madison Rain, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
So I
goodness.
guess I did watch it enough. I guess I did watch it enough. I just didn't remember her enough.
No, you're
But
totally fine. But yeah,
yeah,
no, people
I
gotta
love the Von Erichs though. I love them.
how can you say that would only pop like like that kind of audience? Like the Von Erichs are
I
legendary.
wish I don't even know if I screenshot it. I wish I can like quote it because it like made me like, oh my god, like, are you kidding me?
Like
You know
for
what I'm
people
saying?
that know wrestling, yeah. Like Kerry Von Erich was in the WWF as the Texas Tornado. Like people know who the Von Erichs are.
Yeah. And then on top of it, it's like, okay, even if you know what I'm saying, it's like they still deserve to, a shot if they're because they're not bad. They're not terrible. You know what I'm saying? They carried MLW for like ever. Their stuff with Filthy Tom was like really good. I like their stuff with Filthy Tom. Like they had a lot of, you know what I'm saying, MLW. So like they just need to be like on a bigger scale. They need to just learn bigger things. You know what I'm saying? But like that doesn't mean that they can't learn and be put, you know what I mean, put on a big show. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it'd be definitely good. You know what I'm saying? Like I was very like fuming about it. I'll be honest, I was like, are you kidding me? I love them. I love the Von Erichs completely. Like I love Kevin and yeah. So
Well, that's the debate with like Cody and Solo now is why is Solo getting the shot. The story is Roman Reigns comes back at SummerSlam and takes out Solo, and you bring Jimmy in, and then it leads to a bloodline feud. You get Jey Uso back with them and Sami Zayn. There's many different directions that they can go, and also Solo is quoting himself to be the new tribal chief. So you tell the story there. And then people wanted like Randy and Cody quickly, and like we mentioned earlier in today's show, it's like no, you push that for down the line. You don't do that right away.
no sense. Cody has enough on his plate, don't you think? Like
Right. And also the fact that people just want to rush. I think it's our attention spans because a lot of wrestling fans don't like to play the long game.
well, the
That was,
biggest thing is like the funniest thing when MJF was champion, everybody was like MJF, MJF. Don't get me wrong. I know he's a champion. I get it. I know he's a champion, but everybody can't hate the same guy. Like I know, like you know that everyone wants to be the top guy, but you have to actually be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like not everyone can have a feud with him right now. Not everyone can have a feud with you right now. Why would you all go after him at the same time? That doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you all hate him at the same time? Like, you know what? Like, bring it to attention at the same time. Like, you
right.
can't get a feud with him. You're not gonna. If you get a title shot, it's like not gonna be.
I mean, with the direction they're going now is since they're going to be going to Wembley for All In. I mean, you can do the rematch with Will and MJF, and the probable thing you can have there is have Will win it back there, and then Daniel Garcia screws MJF, and that leads to MJF and Daniel Garcia all out. Like,
That'd be
there's
cool.
that storytelling there. Like Punk and Drew McIntyre have been having their best story, and they haven't even touched each other, like wrestled each other, because of course we're waiting for Punk to get cleared. But what they've been doing with him screwing him at Money in the Bank and Clash at the Castle, and like Drew just going insane and bonkers, and Punk is just there like doing what have you. You know, you took my wife and the beads and the wife with AJ Lee and the dog on it, Larry. Like it's compelling, and they haven't even touched. I think if you can get something over like that, that's friggin' awesome to see, and it makes you, as a fan, want to see CM Punk and Drew McIntyre more. They've really been doing well with that story.
I know. So there's two things. So one thing is that I saw a thing where they were like comparing it to Sean and Brett.
Yeah.
Like how it's like very, how they took it. I was like, oh wow, shit. All right, yeah. But you know what I mean? We have to because it's how we build things, you know what I mean? But which is cool though, because it makes complete sense. But I didn't like the whole Money in a Bank thing at all.
Yeah. So
I know, like, people are like, well, it has to make sense that Drew would be that mad to go attack you know what I mean? For him to go bonkers like that.
Yeah, but you have Punk attack him, which makes sense with the story, but also at the same time, you're kind of wasting the cash in a little bit.
It's like, no offense, but like, it would have been better if they had Punk fuck with it during the match. Like,
yeah.
during the match, like Punk comes out, fuck with Drew, and like either LA Knight or even Carmelo or
somebody
or
win.
even Jimmy, or not Jimmy, but Jay. Like there was 3 people off the bat.
But what they did was, and a lot of people said that, like, instead of just screwing him out of Money in the Bank entirely, you wait to the title match. Like, again, I see it from both sides. Like, it makes sense with the story, but also number 2, you didn't have to fuck with him and have him be one of the people who was a failed cash in, right? So you kind of wasted it, but also at the same time you can understand it. So it's a double-edged sword and kind of seeing it from both sides. But I think
it's
more
just because they're taking too much time up with, like, for example, like Jay.
Right.
All right, the Yeet shit, cool, and he's been on fire since WrestleMania. How many months since it's been WrestleMania and he has been doing hardly just regular shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, at least make him Intercontinental. Who's the Intercontinental champion right now?
Oh, geez. Sami Zayn.
Oh, that's why I don't know.
Well, they're also setting up Braun Breaker to kill Sami Zayn again.
Yeah, I've never been a Sami Zayn, like,
never? Anyone else in Jericho? No? That's okay.
It was nice when he won. Like, oh, nice. Like, I'd be honest with you, I thought he was going to be the one that was going to have his shit cashed in on him. Whenever he won, I was like, oh, yeah, they're going to cash in. Like, Damian Priest. I thought that Damian Priest was going to cash in on Sammy. Like, because he won the first night, didn't he? Or was he the second night?
Oh, well, the first night was Damian. No, yeah, the first night, Seth and Drew, and then he cashed in the Money in the Bank, yeah.
It wasn't the first night of WrestleMania. I think it was the second night.
Oh, for Sammy and Gunther? That was the second night, I think. Yeah.
Really?
Or Damian Priest. What are you talking about? Oh, when he cashed in on Seth and Drew.
Yeah.
It was WrestleMania night 1.
Really? I could have sworn it was the first one.
Yeah, it was night 1.
Whenever it happened, I don't know why I was thinking that. I was like, oh, I thought that. Damn, I don't know why.
Yes.
I was thinking in my head, like, I'm not messing with you, but whenever he, like, won, I was like, dude, this would make sense. Damian coming down and cashing on him.
I mean, well, you also, a lot of people forget, like, you can cash in on mid-titles now, like we did with Austin Theory and the United States Championship. They opened up that gate, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and people likes to be like, oh, well, but, let mid-titles have a little bit of, something behind them. You know what I mean? Because I think that's what we need because, like, for example, the USA title, that's a mid one. But right now I think it's really good. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, like, I like the feuds that Logan Paul has. I like the matches he has. But, like, if LA Knight has a champion, you want to hear a bunch of promos. I'll be honest with you. I know he's a baby face, but I was going to say this earlier about LA Knight. I really want to see him back. Like, did you ever see his stuff when he was, like, a TNA champion of some?
Yeah. With him and Chris Masters, yeah.
Yes. He needs to be that again, but LA Knight version. Like, exactly. Like, especially, like, they have to wait there until they're on Netflix so he can say some shit. Like, he is so, like, I love the shit he says. Like, oh my God. My favorite promo is the one that he was like, about the 2 jugs. She said, I got 2 jugs for you. I said, I don't drink from the plastic. She said, they are plastic. I said, hey, now. Like he's just so funny. Like, and it's just like the whole thing though, top to bottom, was like, he's just like in there with this championship. And I don't know, like he can, you know what I mean? He's just good as a champion. Like his stuff's always good, but I can't wait to see him as that. Like I want this to do that. Like not right away. It just has to happen at some point.
It does. And I think what's great about it, too, is like we mentioned LA Knight in the long term and him as champion. We have so many great electrifying characters and entertaining characters. And I will say this, because while we bounce around, while we shoot the breeze, while we all up and cheese, if you will, we be cheesing, so to speak. But yeah. Miss Roxy Main, I have 2 final topics for you because we covered a lot and we blabbed a lot, but it's how we do. And I love you for it. So I have 2 final things we had. Number 1, Stephanie Vaquer. The big thing is she wrestled Mercedes Moné, the former Sasha Banks, at Forbidden Door. Now is signed to WWE. A lot of stuff has come out about the fact that when she was going to Forbidden Door, Conan mentioned on his podcast, Keeping It 100, that, well, they heard that Stephanie Vaquer was not picked up at the airport, AEW, much like they did with CM Punk in Wembley and whatnot. And, yeah, she decided, hey, I'm gonna vacate the titles from CMLL. She dropped the title to Mercedes at Forbidden Door. And now I'm going to go to WWE. She wrestled Isla Dawn in Mexico, and I think we're teasing Roxanne Perez and Stephanie McCurr for NXT. So what do you think about, she was just on AEW. She relinquishes the title for CMLL in Mexico, and now she's signed with WWE. What do you think?
Business. Smart woman. Yeah. Whatever's best for you, because no offense, but like, yeah, like she's a name, but you know what I mean? Like she has to worry about like, you know what I mean? Plus, if she thinks she's a better shot at WWE, you know what I mean? Like whenever AEW first started, I used to like really think like they were really equals, like, but now it's starting to kind of show like people are getting better opportunities jumping over. You know what I mean? Like look at Ethan Page, for example. Like when I first saw him in AEW, I was like super happy. Like I thought he was gonna like have opportunity, and he didn't. Which I'm not trying to be like, you know what I mean? And then somehow, but he came over to NXT and he's like right in front in the picture. So you know what I mean? So like that's
all right. I'll add on to your point because I do know what you mean, man. And we'll tell everybody else what we're meaning up in this piece. So we have Ethan Page, who was really doing nothing from nothing in AEW. And again, this is how Tony books. It's like you'll do something, then you get lost in the sauce. To quote Eli Drake, yeah, lost in the sauce, if you will. And then you have over here with NXT, they put you at the forefront. And my thing, too, is with Tony Khan and how you talk about AEW and him being equals, right? Tony Khan was going against Vince McMahon, who people hated the product. They thought it was very tiresome, and they wanted an alternative. And now that you have Triple H in charge and the old man is gone, God damn it, he's gone. He's gone. Now you have Triple H.
Triple H is doing exactly what Tony Khan's been doing.
Yes.
He's been doing, now he's doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, but WWE's been waiting for us to be able to do that stuff. So that's why I think also people are very like, oh my God, they're letting them do that. You know, that's another thing too. It's like kind of like a shock value right now.
Well, yeah, and then they're also going to Netflix, which a lot of us are looking forward to, like we mentioned. But it's Tony Khan doesn't have Vince McMahon to feed off of anymore. And because how Triple H has had the direction of the product and Shawn Michaels and what he's doing with NXT, the NXT TNA relationship, and here's Tony over here doing for the sickos, because that will never not get old. The fact that he legit tweeted out, I do it for the sickos. It's just funny. It's never not going to be funny. The sickos. So,
yeah, you can tell he's nerdy though. He's just a fool. He's a awkward nerd, and he's
socially awkward. Yeah,
very socially awkward. Poor guy. You know what I mean? He's very socially awkward.
Yes, but yes, he had Stephanie McCurr for Forbidden Door. She's now with WWE. Wishing her all the best, man. Businesswoman, like you mentioned, very smart. And the final topic here, my Buck Wild Amiga. The Wyatt Six, the presentation of Bo Dallas, Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, Nikki Cross. I've been and Eric Rowan, of course. I've been really enjoying the videos of Bo Dallas morphing into Uncle Howdy and being a part of him. Eric Rowan, the tearjerker of him talking about Brody Lee and Bray Wyatt. My God, I've been really enjoying what they're doing, and now they're feuding with Chad Gable and his new crew, the Creed Brothers, Team Angle 2.0, going into SummerSlam. What are your thoughts on the Wyatt Six now against Chad Gable and the Creed Brothers?
I think it's good and it makes sense because they're talking about family and stuff. And I was saying where they're like, oh, they're talking about people who don't treat their family right. Are they going to go after the bloodline next? Well, good. This is stuff that we need to think about because they'll actually take the their group seriously. You know what I mean? Because we've been waiting for, you know what I mean? We've been waiting for Uncle Howdy and the group and the, you know what I mean? The Wyatt Six to come and so, you know what I mean? We should be thinking about future, you know what I mean, things. So I'm excited. And I'm glad to see, like, Chad with them. And I kind of, like, I wish I could see, like, Kurt Angle with them. I know it sounds like, but I wish he'd come as, like, a manager so bad because, like, he just blends in with the vibe with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just, and then, like, he could make them, like, because Kurt also, like, he can be, like, he can teach Chad how to be like funny, but like how to be like serious and like because Kurt had that button. Like he can make you scared and he was like ruthless. Like he was like, and then he also was like hilarious. You know what I mean? So like I know Chad can be funny, but he kind of lacks the like, don't get me wrong, he's very credible, but he lacks the like seriousness. And he's trying to get it. You know what I mean? He's been trying to get it recently, but I think like if Kurt was in there with them and like be like a manager and they could do some like serious / funny shit. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool to see it like it's all together.
he's morphing into Kurt Angle 2.0. The people are giving him the "you suck" chants, which is great to see.
Yeah.
Like, well, Kurt Angle's like a coach kind of deal, like, you know, like kind of like we had Roddy when they were in the Diamond Mine in NXT is also a very nice touch. But I'm really enjoying that. We actually have something now for the Creeds now because they were kind of like not
Doing
really
them.
Yes, and now they're heels, which is what they should be.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very interesting to see the trajectory of that. I know we say that a lot in today's forum, but there's a lot of hot stuff going in professional wrestling. And I say this, whether you like WWE, whether you like AEW, whether you like TNA, whether you like MLW, like this sicko over here.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes I like them. Sometimes I'm like, come on, guys.
Yes. But you should also enjoy professional wrestling like we all do and give our hot takes and also listen to some Brooke Hogan because you should, because that song is from 2006, but it's a jam. It's a goddamn jam.
It is. It is a jam.
And I will say this about Hogan Knows Best. First of all, the fact that he spied on them and like friggin' like bugged the apartment, the beach house where they were. Oh, they're talking about big butts. What are they talking about? Oh, you know the song Baby Got Back? Like he bugged the friggin' beach house when Brooke was staying there. Like that stuff like that. Friggin' Linda Hogan going all nuts on the pets. Well, it's like, Linda, you got fucking birds, you got dogs, you got cats, you got this and that. Of course they're gonna go after you for your pets, man. You got too many pets. Oh, those shows. Those shows.
They have money though to keep their pets though. If you have money and your house don't stink.
True, but still, that's a lot of dogs.
A lot of pets. I don't know because I know some. See, I'm from the country area.
All right.
So a lot of people got a lot of damn pets. I'm not that girl, but a lot of people like, yeah, I got I got fish and I got a dragon and I got cats and I got dogs and I'm like a gerbil and I'm like.
That's kind of a lot.
You know what I mean? And like they're not like rich either. They're like, regular people, So it's like, how do you afford this and no like and their place don't stink. So it's like, what can I really say? But it's just like a lot of pets.
That's a future episode. We dig into the seasons of Hogan Knows Best.
I'll have to rewatch them. I'll have to break out the tapes.
Oh yes. Now,
I don't have a VHS player anymore. I think we got rid of them all.
I think one thing I have to mention before we go into the last part of the show when we do the promotions, folks, I have to add to the fact, because we mentioned music, we've talked about the weekend wrestling and everything in between, but I have to add this point. The first episode of Hogan Knows Best, where she wants to go out with that dude, and like, the bruh's 22. You're 16. What the fuck are we doing here? And Hogan's just like, first of all, that guy was an asshole. That guy was a big asshole. Hogan's like, and he's like, are you curious about my sex life? He goes, kind of, yeah. Because he's trying to figure out like what his intentions are. And of course he's going to do the because she's fucking 22 and she's 16. What the fuck are you thinking, man?
Yeah. That's like off the bat. But she looks so grown. That's probably why people...
Oh, and like, I'll be honest with you, it kind of made me cringe a little with the Randy Orton stuff, and I loved, like we mentioned at the top, I love that feud. He RKO's Hogan on the car.
Was she young? I thought
she was like 16 at the time, and Randy is like in his...
Was she?
Yeah, he was like 20...
He was early 20s.
26.
Was he 26? And she was like 17.
Yeah. Like that kind of like...
She looked like she belonged there, though. That's how they were able to get through that.
And also, it was to promote the CD because the Hulkster wanted to promote Brooks' CD at the time, so he did it. But yeah, man,
but then he crushed it. Him and his boy crushed it, though.
Yes,
put her on TV.
Look at the TNA days when she was on TNA all the time with Bully Ray.
I was about to say that with Bully Ray. No offense, of all men, come on.
That was great. And
of all men.
So originally, Bully even says like they were originally going to do him and Hogan at Bound for Glory that year, but Hulk was like, yeah, like I so first of all, I get the story they were going with at the time, but I don't want to see Hulk Hogan in a ring again. I don't. I really don't. Like,
me either. No offense, brother.
No offense, brother. Well, let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you something, sister. Let me tell you something, dude. We are coming towards the end of the show. Roxy Main, we definitely have to do another one of these again very, very soon. I'm glad that we got to do this. I know with our schedules, we want to do this for a little bit, but I'm glad we got to do it now and do what we do. And I hope you guys enjoyed our hot takes, and the fact that everybody's going to make fun of Roxy now for not knowing about Japan, which is fine. Go ahead, do it in the
All
comments.
right, come on,
Go, bring it,
bring it at me.
bring it at me. Friggin', you're not aware of this 5-star match from the Tokyo Dome in 2000 with Masahiro Chono and like whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, I wish I could tell the difference of what's good and what's bad though. Like, because like Japan, because they're so different from us, like the way they react, like things I would think is good is that maybe they don't think is good.
Well,
So
it's
like,
different because here in the States we cheer and we roar, and mostly in Japan it's
if they do like a certain, it has to make sense, and then they
yes. Well,
every few like it's like quiet, and then they finally do something that makes sense, and they clap.
it's different cultures, but I will say if there's any Japan matches I can find, I'll send them to you to check out because there are some good ones. I will say that. And don't be
I know I really wanted to watch whenever I think it might have been when Kenny and Will was going to face each other.
I think there's some matches I can find that one and I'll send it to you so you can check it out. You should, because Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay have had some great matches in New Japan.
Yeah, I've watched a little, you know what I mean, but like I can't find them from there.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, all right. We'll mention Will, because this one was a big one. Ricochet out of WWE. Braun Breaker took him out. Rumor is he's going AEW. Will Ospreay and Ricochet run it back?
Probably.
Yes.
I mean, that would make sense. At least that would make sense. You know what I mean? It would be good too. And I feel like maybe Ricochet would do maybe, you know what I mean? Because like everyone, everyone has to move around a little bit sometimes. And Ricochet's been sadly, his main run hasn't been anything it should have been.
Well, they never followed up on the Logan Paul friggin' thing. Like they never followed up on that. They never had a return match.
I never understood that, and it was so heated too.
Yeah, and you got some Irvin involved, his girl, and then all of a sudden, no drop. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
I wonder why they didn't.
Like you could have had a return match where Logan beat him at SummerSlam, Ricochet comes back and beats him, and then they go to the rubber match. No, nothing, nothing.
They had so much time too in between. They could have done it before SummerSlam. They could have done it, but Logan's not around that much, so I guess they pick and choose. But then they shouldn't have built it so much. Then they really built it. They really did a lot with it.
And here's my thing. I like Triple H as a booker, but I like any other booker and promoter. There are some things with Triple H. I'm just we could have done more here. With anyone, there's stuff. That's one of them. That is one of them for real. Oh,
I think that with Ricochet and Logan, which I know that Logan, like I said, when was the last time he fought? At WrestleMania, wasn't it? Or where did he have a match? No, he wrestled after that.
Yeah, he wrestled. He did Kevin Owens and Randy Orton at that thing. Oh, Cody, him and Cody at Money in the Bank, or whatever that was. Him and Cody, not Money in the Bank, the one before that, Clash of the Castle or whatever. Yeah, him and Cody for the title. That was the last time, and now he's him and LA Knight now. Yep.
That's the only thing that I don't like about I didn't mind him with the U.S. Championship because a lot of eyes and you know what I mean, right?
Yep.
But it's also a mid title, so he should be out there at least twice a month. Right.
And I mean, they did build the fact that in the Money in the Bank qualifier that he pinned Logan Paul, that in LA Knight. So that builds to that, which is cool. So, I mean, he's doing some stuff, but I think I'll be completely honest with you. And we touch upon their characters. I think it is time for LA Knight to finally win some gold. It is. It's finally time.
Yeah. I'm just scared because it's in Columbus.
Yeah, it's in
Columbus. It's Cleveland. Fuck. It's in Ohio. God damn it. It's in Ohio. It's in Cleveland.
Cleveland, Columbus, same thing. You fucking Ohioans.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. I'm from Pennsylvania, so everyone's, Philly and Pittsburgh, same thing, huh? No. Actually, wait. Do you know how far Cleveland is from Columbus? Do you know how far it is or no? Is it 3 hours away from each other?
It's got to be 3 hours, yeah.
Yeah, at least that's not too bad. Pittsburgh and Philly is 6 to 5 hours. That's a farther distance. Farther distance away from each other. But yeah, so it's in Cleveland. That's why I was I'm not sure. But it would be cool if maybe he did something to disqualify himself and then, hey, I want a rematch or something. If LA Knight doesn't win.
Well,
next LA Knight wins, then.
Yeah, well, the next show after that is Bash at Berlin in Germany at the end of the month. So we shall see.
Yeah, we shall. Hopefully something good happens. Hopefully they don't make this like a one-off thing with LA Knight, because I really think he should be in the. He should be coming out at least twice a week. I mean, not twice a week. Yeah, I'll take him Monday and Friday. I'll take him both days. But at least, like, you know what I mean? Because like I haven't seen him much just recently. I've seen him more again, and I like hearing him. I like seeing him. So
As we all do, man. And we do like seeing is everybody checking out this shizzo, man. We Shootin' the Breeze. We are Mike Larkin and Roxy Main. Rox, before we close this out, you are doing your thing on the Twitter. Where can we follow you on the evil Twitter machine?
At Roxy Main.
Self-explanatory, man. Roxy Main, give her a follow. She's the chick with all the wrestling logos and the shirts and whatnot, doing her wrestling things, looking like a badass. You do your thing, girl. So before we close this out as well, link will be in the description for Rox. Check out StephenMikeShow.com. Check out LFCfights.com. Check out my YouTube, Mike Larkin92. We are almost to 900 subscribers. Let's get up to 1K. We're doing the thing. We're growing. We're doing the damn thing. We appreciate you. We love you. Check out SM Show 1 and MCL92 on the Twitter machine. Check out Instagram, MLarkinMB and Larkin_92. And check out everything that's on my channel, from Shootin' the Breeze with this son of a gun right over here doing her thing. This sicko. Yeah, I'm looking at you, you sicko.
All these sickos that listen.
MJF's homegirl over here with your number one MJF.
I love him.
The Stephen Mike Show, Shootin' the Breeze, the weekly route, my boy Paul Morales, Deep into the Heart of Wrestling with my boy Robert Davis and Nicola McDonald, the LFC podcast, the whole nine. Subscribe to the channel, check out Shootin' the Breeze, and Roxy Main, do you have any final words to the people before we get to our next show, which will be whenever.
Just enjoy wrestling, enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride, enjoy pro wrestling, and enjoy each and every show that we put on this channel.
Enjoy it.
You know what? Enjoy it. Take it in. We're going to go all over the place, but enjoy it anyway. Keep up with us, you sons of bitches. So for Roxy Main, my name is Mike Larkin. We will see you next time on another edition of Shootin' the Breeze. And, well, yeah.
Yeah.